May 23rd, 2024, 4 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, of course, we've got a lot to discuss today. You know, this Bronx rally, which is causing a lot of meltdowns, this is such an important event. And I'm going to tell you right out the box what they're going to do. Okay, when I say that, you know who I mean, these evildoers. One, since President Trump made an American record with the rally of 100,000 in New Jersey a couple weeks ago, that's going to become the new standard. So because he doesn't get 100,000 at an event, all of a sudden it's going to be sparsely attended. They're going to start that racket. That's one. But these liberals, what they like to do in these blue cities is really one of the most obscene, obnoxious things. You know, liberals don't like anyone with a differing viewpoint speaking. So what they will do, and if I were on the air in New York City, I might not be, well, I guess we have a lot of listeners in New York City, but if this radio station was like one of the radio stations in New York City, I probably wouldn't bring this up because it would encourage too many locals to do it. But what they'll probably do is they're going to do two things in particular. They're going to pull as close as they can and up in vehicles and blast music as loud as possible. And then they're going to have like those horns that you can buy. They look like a spray can that, like, you know, if you're in distress on a boat or you're being raped or something, you blow those things. You know what I mean? They're going to be blowing those in the background, blasting music, and do everything they can possibly do to drown out Trump talking, and if there's any speakers before him talking, while they're yelling that we're against democracy when they're trying to stop people from speaking in a political event. So it's pretty amazing. It really is an amazing thing doing this event in the Bronx. And, you know, a few other things about it, you know, just because a city, a state, or a county is a blue county does not mean that everybody there is liberal or even close to it. It means that the people that show up to vote typically are. You know, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale in Broward County. That is more corrupt than Chicago. I'm sure it is today. I mean, the corruption caused the Parkland shooting. If it wasn't for Broward County Democrat political corruption, the Parkland shooting wouldn't have happened, and those children would be alive today. And the superintendent and all the people involved in it should have been charged with crimes. Really, they should have been. You know, here in Palm Beach County, you know, where I've lived for a long time, where we're at here in the radio station, this is a very Democrat county, you know, but Trump lives here. You know, remember they went after, the state's attorney went after Rush Limbaugh for doctor shopping when he had his prescription drug addiction, and that was, and a lot of people may say, well, he was hooked on the drugs. He should, you know. When Rush Limbaugh was prosecuted for doctor shopping, it was the first case ever that had been prosecuted of that. Can you imagine? Can you know? You think that's just a coincidence? And, you know, so just because an area is a Democrat county doesn't mean that everybody there is a Democrat. And there are a lot of people in places like the Bronx, like they're running this story now that, well, you know, Trump lost the Bronx by 78 points or something. How many people were eligible to vote that didn't vote? You know, there are a lot of people in New York City, California. They don't even bother voting because they figure, what's the point? You know, I mean, it's the Democrats going to win. What's the point, right? So there's a lot of support, and I do understand that you don't have to be in the Bronx to go to the Bronx, so people will come from other places. Trump has a permit for the speech today, and it's for less than 4,000 people. Now, I don't know why that is. It's 3,000 something. I don't remember the exact number. It could be because that's as large as the area will hold, or that's the only permit they would give. I don't know. But I imagine there'll be a much larger turnout. But it is not going to be easy to get there. And it's at 6 o'clock. You know, you've got, you know, rush hour time. It's during the week. It's a messy time to even try to do something like that. But the crowd should be huge. The Democrats in the country are panicked over this. And if you watch the liberal media, you can sense the panic. Because they know what I just told you, that there are a lot of people that don't bother voting because they figure it's a waste of time, and that they think this could be something that could encourage voters. A lot of these people like AOC win election after election because voter turnout is very low. And AOC should be really concerned. You know, a lot of these, she did not win her races by that much. And congressional races are often won by a couple hundred votes. Very commonly won by a couple hundred votes. It's not unusual. In fact, that's more of the norm. And AOC is all over television, you know, because it's not really in her district. It's like on the border of her district, but whatever. But anything to get on television, AOC will be there. But she probably is very nervous. And one of the things that are making these liberals nervous are some of the street interviews. I'm going to play one right now. This is, let's see, this was Fox News, and they were talking to people just randomly on the streets in the Bronx. Listen.
Getting desperate too. That brings the crime up. When you get poverty and you get a bunch of people that come here that get actually more benefits than the people that have been here.
Okay, now that's one thing I've been telling you guys. Blacks are pissed off about the illegals getting all this crap. A lot of liberal blacks are obsessed with reparations. Reparations is stupid, ridiculous, never going to happen. But a lot of blacks feel they're owed reparations. And when they see the illegals getting all this stuff for free, they look at that and say, "Whoa, there's they're getting my reparations."
Everybody's struggling. People are getting desperate too. That brings the crime up. When you get poverty and you get a bunch of people that come here that get actually more benefits than the people that have been here, then what?
This is real America. This right here, people are paying 30-40% more. We were just going to buy Windex to clean the windshield. Everything is expensive. Everybody is hurting. People need to see that their leader cares about them, and Donald Trump does care about them, and that's why he's coming here.
Why do you want to see Donald Trump tomorrow?
Well, Donald Trump is the man. Everybody wants to see Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is the man.
Okay, and this was on Fox. They interviewed 3 people in the Bronx, 2 of them black men. And the other guy's a New Yorker, you know, so all 3 of them are in a demo that the Democrats have taken for granted for as long as I can remember. And you know, this is one of the reasons they're bringing so many illegals here. It's to, you know, when they talk about replacement theory and they attack it with the illegals, they act as if people are accusing the Democrats of trying to replace white people. No, they're really trying to replace black people, because they're losing so much of the black vote to Republicans since Trump came down the escalator. They're in a panic. They're in a complete panic about it. And you have 3 people interviewed, New Yorkers all, 2 of them black men, and they're talking about Trump. That causes a panic. And then this next one, this guy here, Adam, he's black as well, and listen to this.
This is Adam Solis with the New York Young Republican Club.
Yeah, think about that. The head of the New York Young Republican Club is a black guy. By the way, that's the New York City Young Republican Club. I didn't even know they existed. And you know what? A lot of people, including a lot of New Yorkers, probably didn't know they existed.
This is Adam Solis with the New York Young Republican Club. We're here waiting in front of Crotona Park for President Trump's arrival tomorrow. We're expecting more than 10,000 people, and you better be one of them. The most incredible part about this is that Republicans have tried this in the past with no avail. Word on the street is President Trump is being welcomed with open arms, and they're very excited about his arrival.
Okay, so, you know, 2 stories, 4 people, all waiting for Trump and supporting Trump, and 3 of the 4 are black. And, you know, it's happened so gradually, I don't think people will appreciate it, but I remember if you heard from a black Republican, it was a very unusual and big thing. I've heard years ago, Rush or Hannity would get a call from a black Republican. They would talk to that guy for like 30 minutes on the air. And they were like so amazed. They all of a sudden they became, the way I used to describe it is, they acted as if they were anthropologists who were going down the Nile River and found a long-lost tribe of black Republicans somewhere off the Nile River in Africa. I mean, they would act like it was a big deal. Now it's no big deal. It's very common. And it's really an amazing thing. And the reason that is many, but this lawfare recently is the reason why a lot of people who are black, in particular black men who were not conservative, are supporting Trump now. Because what have we heard? The Democrats have been brainwashing blacks for years that the justice system is politically biased, racially unbiased, it's unfair, kangaroo courts, and all that stuff. And that's where their mindset is. And now they see how it's being used against President Trump, and they relate to that. The other reason is what I talked about, the borders. The illegals are getting their reparations. A lot of people don't like that. But the main reason is, contrary to what Joe Biden would tell you, black people just aren't poor anymore. We've achieved in the last, really, it's only, where I really noticed it is when I go to Disney World. When I used to go to Disney World, there were no black people at Disney World. Now you go to Disney World, there's a lot of black people there. And it's expensive to go to Disney World. And the reason there are more black people at Disney World, and when there really were when I was a kid, there were no black people at Disney World. I'm really telling you, none. But that was the 70s and the 80s. The civil rights movement was just over. Now we've achieved economic equality, and as a group, blacks they do very well, just like any other group in this country. And when people start to do well financially, they hate more than anything is of course, paying taxes for a bunch of freeloaders, like some of the callers that call in, right? The freeloaders we hear from on the phones. And there are other things, but mainly people, when they become middle class, they become a homeowner, they become rich, they don't like paying taxes to support a bunch of bums or a fake war in Ukraine and things like this. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why blacks have become Republicans in large numbers, but really the main reason they become Republicans are the same reason that anybody else becomes a Republican. And on top of that, as a group, blacks are more evangelical Christian than white people. Going to church is a big thing in the black community. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break. Callers on hold, stand by. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call The Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
So with the Zoom, there won't be a delay. Like with this,
Should be straight on.
Okay, like with the thing that Steve has now, there's just a moment delay.
It sounds like it. Like when you ask him something, it takes a second, and then he.
Or we're talking over each other. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you're listening to news.
It's like that. It's exactly like that. Okay. Sounds good.
Should be good. The only thing I think we're worried about is callers, but we'll see how that works.
Well, if this works, the pot for the mic for the caller should work.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to stop,
Yeah.
just in case.
We're starting tomorrow, maybe, but certainly by next week. We're starting a new system to connect Steve to the radio station. Yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. I broke my glasses right before showtime, so I taped them. These are just readers. I've got a whole box of new ones at home. Can AOC draw a crowd? I doubt it. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
Yeah, you know, another thing that's going to help Trump's rally today is, this is a historic thing. How often does a Republican go to New York City and do an event? It does not happen very often, especially a New Yorker, right? He's a New Yorker. I mean, there's so many things that are going to make this a huge success today. But believe me, the Democrats who run New York are going to do everything they can do to make it difficult. You know, not just the sound things I talked about. Who knows? I mean, would you put it past them to slow down traffic so people could? Believe me, they don't want this to happen. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How are you?
Hey, Roz. What's up?
I just wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, President Trump is not, prejudiced against black people. It's actually the other way around. Biden is the one that is prejudiced. And we have a president, which I hate to even call him that, but we have a president that is so evil and wicked. When I found out yesterday in the redacted paperwork that he signed a thing to use force,
Deadly force. Oh, by the way, I got an update on that. See, by the way, if you guys don't, you should follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. I did yesterday afternoon, I did a video on YouTube. There's an update to that. Not only listen, this is freaking insane, okay? Not only did Merrick Garland sign the authorization, and Biden signed off on that too, authorizing the use of deadly force in the Mar-a-Lago raid. Prior to the raid, the FBI notified the local trauma center closest to Mar-a-Lago to prepare for casualties. So the FBI went in there prepared for battle.
Well, the thing that scared me and really ticks me off, what if his son Bjorn was there or his wife and they got shot or something?
Exactly.
Oh, this infuriates me. And then he walks around with a smile on his face, and I'm thinking to myself, just wait, Biden. If you don't repent of all these evil things that you're doing, we have a God in heaven who's all this.
Well, you know, the thing about Biden, I don't know, you're old enough to remember, but when Biden was younger, he was worse than he is now. I mean, he can't speak now. But when he was younger, he was one of the nastiest. He had press conference pretty much every day in the Senate. And he had the worst hair transplants you've ever seen, the ones that look like doll hair, you know? And he was just vile and nasty each and every day on television. He was always screaming. That's why he has this dementia. I think he probably has Parkinson's. And oftentimes Parkinson's is brought on by drug and alcohol abuse. That's probably why Michael J. Fox has it.
Well, my grandmother had Parkinson's, and she didn't drink or she smoked cigarettes.
There you go. That's one of the vices, right?
The thing of it is, though, it really upset me when I heard that. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Evil people are out there.
They're Democrats. That's the kind of evil. You know, listen, Democrats are, one of their big things they're advocating now are for killing babies in the womb, right? They used to, you know, I mean, Democrats are terrible people.
I don't believe in abortion, and now they're doing it right up to 9 months. What are they doing with that baby? Delivering it? Taking a hammer or not?
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Oh, that should be against the law, you know.
Well, it is in Florida.
And, you know, that thing about Ron DeSantis, I don't know if you know about it, but I heard last night that he was informed about them coming out there and using deadly force, and he didn't step in. He knew about it.
Yeah, I bet if Carrie Lake was our governor, she would have stepped in. She would have been there waiting for him.
Oh, of course you would. There's some good people in Congress that are Republican, like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie. There's a couple of Andy Biggs. I think he's a.
But the thing about Ron DeSantis is he is such a weakling. When before the betrayal, I did that event with him at Wings Plus. And I was very surprised how every step he took was a step that he took right after one of his handlers whispered in his ear. He didn't just walk around and talk to people randomly or do anything randomly. He was like a puppet. He was like a puppet.
Yeah, no, President Trump, people don't get him, but he is a very kind, loving person in his heart. I relate to him a lot.
Yeah.
He says what's on his mind, what he thinks. And I like people like that because you know where they're coming from. They're not going to fill your ear with a line of baloney.
Yep.
That's another thing, too, with this courthouse thing, with Michael Cohen stealing the money, and they got the criminals sitting over there testifying. He's the criminal.
Wouldn't you think that if you confess to a crime in New York City, that you right from the witness stand, you would be arrested, wouldn't you?
Right. I've never even, to me, this stuff that's going on, we've never seen this in our lifetime. And it's like a movie or something, like it's fiction. Like, how are they getting away with this stuff?
Well, they haven't gotten away with it. Right? Things haven't concluded. Hey, Roz, appreciate the call. All right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie. Hey.
Now, Roz is a sweet girl, sweet woman, very naive. We all love Trump. I'm going to tell you the way it is, okay? And believe me, I'm giving you experience. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I spent the first 18 years of my life in the Bronx. My brother lived upstate. I tried to go back to visit my brother. I couldn't even get out of the car. It was so unsafe. I was told by a friend of mine who was Afro-American that I bumped into after 10 years. He says, you got to get out of this neighborhood. They're going after me, let alone you. They see you. This is a security nightmare. This is like when you're going to when you're landing your plane in the middle of Andahar in the middle of the night. Nobody lets anyone know the president's going to visit.
Yeah.
This is he's going into Brian. This is worse than Overtown ever was.
It's bad. It's bad.
The Bronx is terrible. It's not just terrible. The average income there is $26,000 a year per household, I believe. 99% of them are all on welfare. Half of the people there are not basically Dominican and Puerto Rican. They're a rough crowd.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people that love President Trump, but this is a potential security nightmare. He's out, and the Katona Park is dangerous as hell. I can't imagine. I don't know how they're going to secure this venue. The Bronx is bad. It is bad, and it's not that he's, and it's not.
Yeah, but you know what though? A lot of people that live in ghettos love Trump. They don't have a beef with him.
Brian, I get that, but this is not just a ghetto. The gangs are controlling the whole damn place. I'm telling you, there's shootouts all over the place. I put my address into YouTube, and they have a shootout in broad daylight.
Yeah.
They just had a Ferrari out there shooting everything up. I'm telling you. Yeah.
What kind of idiot goes around in a flashy car like a Ferrari and starts doing drive-by shootings?
Probably a drug dealer. They got out and started. I'm telling you, I came from hybrid.
Yeah, but Richie, but when President Trump, he doesn't just have the Secret Service detail because he's a president. He's also the nominee. His detail is so big, and when I go to these events, you would be surprised how many every once in a while you can pick out the undercover guys. Like the window blow, and you'll see their pistol under their shirt or something. The security at these Trump events is beyond imagination. Believe me, and I think they love him there. I think if AOC had a rally, she would have more protests than Trump would have.
people are ticked off at her because of what do you call it? She prevented all those jobs coming in from Prime, Amazon. Those are big plant. There's no jobs in the Bronx. Ryan, that's the worst borough out of every.
Yes, I know.
It's the worst. You have no,
Well, maybe. Well, why do you think Trump picked the worst one?
He's taking some risk, man. This is
not taking any risk. I think what he's doing is, I think there are a lot of people in Democrat cities and in Democrat ghettos that feel abandoned by the government, and he's offering them help.
100%, but there's so much disruption possible in that place. I mean, when I say disruption, they're going to be gangs that he's a threat to. I mean,
I am sure they are already there as we speak, taking care of all that. You got nothing to worry about.
So,
please.
To me, I hope it goes smooth here.
Oh, it will.
It could go bad.
Well, it depends. It depends on, the Democrats. When Trump in the first campaign was going to have that event in Chicago, the Democrats sent all the thugs out on the street and he had to cancel it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they pull a bunch of stunts throughout the day, with some of the things you're referencing, to try to force him out of doing it.
It's not just stunts. I believe there could be disruptions.
Yeah.
There could be within the crowd of fights, because you have no idea what he's going into.
You're not no one is going to get close to him that does not go through the massive airport security, metal detectors, and X-ray machines. Whenever you go to an event where President Trump is at, before you get within hundreds of feet of him, you've gone through so much security and checking, and it's pretty intense.
Let me say this as I'm going to go right now. I had a friend that played basketball. This is way back. He played basketball for our high school. He was the only white man on an all-black basketball team. We had a great team, Taft High School. They closed the school down because the teachers were shot on the school.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the school was shut. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I tried to get to a basketball game and got jumped. I got jumped 5 blocks before I could get near the school. I'm telling you.
Rich, I know it's bad. Richie, there's bad. Listen. That bus transfer station where I used to take your bus to on Broward Boulevard. Remember when a homeless guy put a 12 gauge to someone's head?
That's nothing next to the Bronx. I'm telling you.
I know it's bad. Yeah.
But that's nothing worse than the Bronx.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad you're not an advisor to Trump.
Oh my God, he knows I hope he knows what he's getting into. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, of course he knows. I think he knows the Bronx better than Richie. Richie hasn't been there in a while. All right. Richie lives in. I won't tell you where he lives, but he lives in a very secure area now. All right, we'll take a break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Richie's always negative, if you guys know. He's always Debbie Downer. That's just Richie's way. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. All right? Oh, man. So tomorrow, when I get off the air, I am driving to Jacksonville, Florida, which is, I just looked at the map. It's about 4 hours from here. And then I'm going to be in Georgia on Saturday, and I am going to a place that it's been like my dream to go. I'm doing something this weekend that I've dreamed of doing for years. I'll make a YouTube video about it, of course, on my other YouTube channel that you guys can watch. Richie is always down in the dumps about something. He's never happy. You know? He needs to read the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. I-95 north to Jacksonville. It says 3 hours and 43 minutes to my hotel, but that's now, before the traffic, so I'm guessing about 4 hours. I hate the drive. I would rather fly, but I just can't get planes that go direct that are decent times. I'll be in my hotel for hours resting before the plane would even land if I flew. No, the town I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to Jacksonville, but then I'm going to this little town in Georgia. Let me see where it's at. I'll tell you where. It's no secret. I don't know the name of the town I'm going to. It is in Kingsland, Georgia. Kingsland, Georgia. I'm going to on Saturday. What I'm doing is, I've talked about this before. I'm going to the sets of that YouTube Star Trek show, Star Trek Continues. I'm going to take a tour of the sets on Saturday. Wasn't this nice of Donald Trump to do this commercial for us?
Mike Lindell, where is Mike? He is the greatest. First of all, he does make a great product, great pillows. I actually use them, believe it or not. He's been a supporter from day one. The My Pillow guy. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
As always, President Trump is right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
Okay, let's talk about renovation and how it's not like your ordinary happy ending home makeover show.
Mike's computer's not working, so he's in here today using this one.
Show up to do the work. So that's why the state of Florida licenses contractors. You can check if your contractor is licensed at the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation website at myfloridalicense.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting with a AAA.
Yeah, go on YouTube and look up Star Trek Continues. And not now, after 9 o'clock. But then that's where I'm going on Saturday.
Deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit. In HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't.
Let them come back with a guilty verdict.
And that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA.
How many approval points is a guilty conviction good for Trump?
You don't need. Laporta Contracting has been
You know?
in the roofing and contracting business
If they want to forever be remembered as the most corrupt jury since OJ.
and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Call us on hold, stand by. This is Biden yesterday. Did you guys see this thing with Biden yesterday? He endorsed President Trump. Listen, I'm not kidding. This is Joe Biden yesterday.
A campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection.
Oh, wow. Joe Biden just said that he can't win re-election. That's great. I agree with him on that.
About what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
Oh, my goodness. We can't win this re-election, and we can only elect Donald Trump. That's Joe Biden. This is not edited. This is on stage yesterday. This is the guy with the nuclear football people.
About what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
Oh, my goodness. Pretty scary, isn't it? Absolutely. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
man, it's obvious that he's got, and it's sad to see this guy, when he was with it, he was a nasty, nasty guy, but at least he was with it then. This guy is not, his brains aren't, his neurons aren't all firing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know, when you're obviously saying it slipped out, the truth slipped out of him. You know, this was one of the times when he said the truth. I can't beat him, and go vote for him. It's something to that effect.
Yeah. He said he can't win re-election, and we can only elect Trump. That's what Biden... Trump should make that into a commercial. Wouldn't that be a great campaign ad?
Yes, it would.
Joe Biden endorses Trump.
Yeah. Now, as far as this Bronx, Trump's Bronx rally thing, do the Bronx people, because here's the thing about the Bronx. The Bronx is what would fit into the great American melting pot. Got Italians and blacks and all that stuff in it. Is what used to be called the great American melting pot.
Yeah.
Do AOC's constituents have a chip enough on their shoulder to tell her off and say, we're going to Trump's rally?
You know, I remember when she was in her first term AOC, someone did something that was so hilarious. You know, she didn't really live in the Bronx, and she never goes to the Bronx, but she has an address there. By the way, a congressman does not have to live in their district or even the state to be a congressman in a district. Congress makes the laws, and they make the laws to benefit themselves. You can be like you're in Louisiana, your local congressman could live in Alaska and still be in Congress representing you in Louisiana. But AOC had an address, had an apartment in the Bronx, and this couple used to go by there and look at all the mail and all the junk mail and newspapers and stuff at her front door because she never was there to get the mail or pick up the newspapers. It was, you know, she doesn't even really live. I know she likes to act like she's down in the Bronx and all, but that's part of her fake bio.
She's not Jenny on the block, you know. That's what that is. I mean, think about it. This is a woman that lied about going to school in that district when she went to high school in a district further north.
Yeah, that's right. She went like into and she went by, what was the name that AOC went by when she was in school? She went by a white girl's name. She had a name that, you know, like Obama used to go by Barry. She had another name she went by. It wasn't Alexandria. It wasn't Alex. She went by another name. I just forgot. Sandy, yes. Everybody, yes. She went by, all of her friends in high school and college called her Sandy. I wonder if that very effeminate fiance of hers calls her Sandy or Alex or Alexandria. I don't know. All right, take care, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark.
You know, I'm really excited to see this Bronx rally. And it's really funny because when you see the smallest of a Trump event, it's thousands of times bigger than anything at a Biden or Democrat event.
Oh yeah.
And you know, Trump, he'll go right behind the enemy lines and just get his message out. So,
well, see, this is the thing. I disagree that he's behind enemy lines. I think there's a lot of people in New York City, which includes the Bronx, that are very supportive of Donald Trump. I don't think he's going into enemy territory. I think he's going into Democrat-controlled territory, but I think he's got a lot of support there.
You know, I was kind of premature about that, but I agree with you. But
you know, a lot of hold on to your question. A lot of people that live in Democrat areas feel abandoned by the country. They feel abandoned, like the country doesn't care about them. The government doesn't care about them. You know, so that's a connection they make with Trump. Anyway, what's your question?
I was just curious, what's your other YouTube channel that you put other videos?
Well, I do another YouTube channel where I do, like, it's not news or politics. It's just like, you know, I make YouTube videos, I vlog, I go places. You know, like when I went on the cruise, or I go to Disney World, or I'm going to go where I'm going this weekend. It's called Main Street Moments. Yep. But it's not news or politics. That's just like, you know, when I go places, I make YouTube videos about it.
No, I listen to Richard, and I like what he says, but, you know, this event coming up, just say a little prayer for Trump and all of the people that go there and pray for the safe.
I mean, when they say that, they're saying that Democrats are violent. Is the Bronx majority minority? Are they saying minorities are violent? Is that what people are saying? I don't know. Hey, Mark, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, hang in there. We'll take our last break of the first hour and be right back.
The cold, hard,
no place Trump goes is dangerous. He's surrounded by massive security.
Here in South Florida, and would love to make you a no-obligation cash offer on your home. If you own a house, condo, or any other property and want to sell it quickly with no hassles, call me at 561-570-7070. We've been buying houses since 2011 and helped hundreds of homeowners sell their homes without the hassles and costs of listing with an agent. We're rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau and have over 100 excellent online reviews from our happy sellers. People love working with us, and so will you. Whether you have a damaged fixer-upper home or a beautiful home that doesn't need any repairs, we can buy it. You don't need to clean or fix anything. There's no commissions or closing costs. If you want to sell your home easily on your terms, call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me,
Yeah, I'm putting the link in the chat to the place I'm going to this weekend. You guys can see. I'll make a YouTube video.
Up and away. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, I just want to give a shout out to my coffee. This is very important. Anybody that has any kind of acid reflux, if you try the low acidic coffee of my coffee, it is absolutely the best. I wasn't able to drink coffee for years, and I tried it, and now I can drink the coffee with no problem whatsoever. It's absolutely delicious. The flavor is like a tastier flavor than regular coffee. I'm telling you, I don't get stomach aches. I don't get anything. I'm so happy with it, and I think that you ought to mention it. I think it's important, especially for older people.
Mike Lindell says that his coffee, the My Coffee, which is 50% off with our promo code Kane and check out KANE at mypillow.com, is the best tasting coffee you've ever had.
Absolutely true. I have tried over the years other coffees, and nothing comes near his, and that really is the truth.
50% off with our promo code Kane and check out KANE at mypillow.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show.
All right, and you know, the My Pillow, My Coffee is very, very good. It makes a great Father's Day gift. And remember, do all your Father's Day shopping at mypillow.com. Huge savings with our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE. 50% off Mike Lindell's My Coffee. But the $25 extravaganza continues, and huge savings, as much as 80% off with our promo code Kane at checkout. And, of course, free shipping on all orders over $75. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. So AOC went on MSNBC last night. She went on that Chris Hayes show, who's, well, I don't want to talk about him too much right now, but he's interviewing AOC. They're talking about Trump coming to the Bronx.
What do you think about a big Donald Trump rally in the Bronx?
I mean, what a dumb question. Of course she thinks it's a bad idea and sucks and hates it. I mean, you know, what kind of question is that?
What do you think about a big Donald Trump rally in the Bronx?
I mean, I think, as you mentioned earlier, this guy is stuck in court. And let's be very clear about the fact that he is stuck in court because over hush money payments for in order to quiet the story about him having sex with Stormy Daniels in the lead up to the in the lead up to the election. And I think that because he is stuck on so many charges around fraud and these payments, he is stuck in a pretty tight radius of where he can go.
Okay, now this is an interesting thing because AOC has been saying what a lot of conservatives have been saying, that President Trump is already under arrest, that he's pretty much imprisoned and in jailed 4 days a week in that courtroom. And what AOC is telling people, and she went on a whole interview circuit yesterday, she said this all day long throughout the day, and she'll continue to say, because she loves to be on TV, that he pretty much has an ankle bracelet on, and that it's restricted his campaigning for president of the United States. That's why he's in the Bronx, she says. So it is a political move to keep him from campaigning. So she's saying that Trump is right. He's been saying that for weeks.
The 26 in the lead up to the election. And I think that because he is stuck on so many charges around fraud and these payments, he is stuck in a pretty tight radius of where he can go. New York City's blue, Brooklyn is blue, Queens is blue, the Bronx is blue, and he's got nowhere to go. And so he's decided to come to the South Bronx. He's broke. He needs to pay these legal funds.
He's broke. He needs to pay these legal funds. She didn't even talk properly. Who says Trump's broke? He's paying his lawyers like $500,000 a month, but he's a billionaire. He's got a lot of money. I don't know where she gets this idea that he's broke.
Is blue, and he's got nowhere to go, and so he's decided to come to the South Bronx. He's broke. He needs to pay these legal funds, and busing people in order to get those donations so that he can funnel them to his legal fees is kind of his business right now.
Okay, this thing about busing people in, this is a common thing. He's got to bus people in. The New Jersey rally, they say this. I've seen many Democrats, including these hags on The View, they say people are paid to go to rallies. You know, when you go to a Trump rally, there are not tour buses bringing people in. Okay, there just aren't. I've never seen that, and I've been to a lot of them. And the reason that Democrats say that, it's not that they're lying. This is what they do. Okay, so whenever they have events, they bus people in, and they pay their way there, and you get bussed in for free. They even give you sometimes hotel stay and food. They feed you and everything. And they do this through a lot of their organizations. Sometimes it's union members, sometimes it's a BLM chapter, but they bus people in, and they just assume that Trump does the same thing because that's what they do. They don't know another way. That's not the case. And same goes for paying people to go to rallies. You hear Democrats say this all the time. People, not only do people not get paid to go to a Trump rally, it costs them money because they have to miss work. They have to drive there. And it's amazing to me when you go to these events. The only ones I've been to are ones that are within not too long of a drive from my house. The first rally I went to was literally like a mile from my front door. The one in Boca, I went to that one. The Sunrise, I've seen Trump a couple times in Sunrise. You know, all the things I've gone to have been within driving range. But not everybody has a Trump rally come in their neighborhood like I have. So people drive across states and fly in. In fact, I went to a rally in Sunrise and I ran into a half sister of mine that I had never met. She's grown up and everything, and she had driven from a whole nother part of the state, pretty far drive, and I was home before she got out of the parking lot, when it was over. But the Democrats, it's another confession that they pay people to go to rallies and events that they have. And even though they bust people in and pay people, they're still pretty empty, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Now, the rally today will be what most of the coverage is on television today. And then the rally tonight, and then tomorrow we'll be processing it. But I got to tell you, you're going to hear all day, right? Oh, Calvin Coolidge is the last guy to do this, and Ronald Reagan's the last one to win New York. You're going to hear that over and over and over today. I'm assuming that's true because everyone's repeating that. But whatever Ronald Reagan did and whatever Calvin Coolidge did is not the same as what Trump has done. How many rap songs, hip-hop songs, black music have Trump's name in them? A whole bunch. Trump has always been liked by blacks. I don't know, maybe they thought he was a little gangster, so I don't know. But he is incredibly popular in black communities. In fact, over the years, I've never had a black person make an unkind comment about my Make America Great Again hat. It's always been white people. Usually gay guys, but sometimes, not gay, straight white guys. And you ask, how can you tell? Well, sometimes if you're in Fort Lauderdale, they got a rainbow flag on, or their voice gives it away, But no, I've never had someone that was black make a negative comment about my MAGA hat. Not once. Only white people. Go figure. That's because blacks love Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Brian from West Palm Beach, Florida. How you doing?
All right. What's up?
I hear where Richie's coming from, but from my perspective, I agree with you. Trump should go for the simple fact to show that the Bronx is not omitted from what he is trying to present and do for everyone. And also, I would like to just state, I am a born Floridian here in Florida, but due to things that was involved with my life, I spent a year with my father in New York. I would go back and forth until I really staying well. About my junior year, I ended up staying, but I was spending my time back and forth with my mother and my father. Mm-hmm. I lived in New York, but my mother lived in Florida, so it was year. But I grew up in the Bronx, and also my father had businesses in the Bronx, which were very lucrative, and we've seen a lot of stuff back in the day.
What kind of business was your dad in?
My father, he owned a grocery store. He owned a jewelry store.
Oh my goodness!
Nightclub.
Is your dad black?
Yes, he is.
How does I keep hearing from the left how racist this country is. How does a black man in America own grocery stores, jewelry stores, and what else did he own?
He worked hard for everything.
You said he owned. What else did he? What was the third thing you said he owned?
He owned the butcher shop.
My goodness. Wow. Are you rich? Did you inherit all that stuff or what? What happened?
No. It finally, went down,
No. So how does a black man have so many successful, huge cash businesses in racist America? I guess the country's not as racist as the left says.
You have spoken the truth. And the thing is, if the opportunity is offered to everyone, you work for what you want. You put the time in. It's what you do. I'm a recording artist, musician, and I have been working all my life to do what needs.
Really? Yeah. Is that what you do for a living? Are you a musician for a living?
Yes, I am.
Really?
A recording artist. Yes.
Like what kind of music? What kind of music?
It is the music. My album foretold what is going on now. It is foretold everything that is happening.
No, like what genre? What kind of music is it?
I call it message music. It's a mixture of everything.
Oh, okay.
Do my music? It's orchestrated. It's,
okay.
A little bit.
And you do that for a living. I mean, how do you make a living doing that? Do you sell songs like on iTunes or something, or Apple Music, or do you like play live things?
or I perform live, and I'm independent. You know?
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Independent.
That's awesome.
So, but I wholeheartedly say for him to go, but also be protected, as well. But I know the Bronx people would love it and appreciate it because I have many friends up there that call me every day and tell me how they wish Trump was the president.
Mm-hmm.
They are sick and tired of all of it.
Yeah.
Not just black, it's white, it's everybody that has been abused. They are tired of it.
Well, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. But send me a link to your music. I'm curious to hear it.
We will not be disappointed.
All right. Okay, take care. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. When we get back, there's much more to cover. We'll continue with this and your calls, but there's a lot of issues that we'll get into today as well. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Our number, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.
Well, I'm not going to tell people where to go until I hear it. You know what I mean? Make sure it's acceptable, Yeah, all those businesses his dad owned are cash businesses. At least they used to be. There's not cash anymore,
Tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all don't miss out, man. Everybody, it's Trump Latinos. Listen, y'all can see we in New York. Trump done hit us up and it's about to go down in the Bronx tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all don't miss out, man. Pull up to the rally. Let's go. We in New York.
Musicians are the least likely to be racist? Really? Why is that?
Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the newly renovated poker room with
I tried giving up. Well, I didn't try to give it up. I cut back my coffee. Monday and Tuesday, I cut back my coffee. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but the last 2 days, I've been going through withdrawals. Yesterday was the worst. So I gave it up. I'm back to my normal coffee consumption. Yesterday, I was going through serious withdrawals during the show. I had about half the coffee that I normally would have. I can't do it. Yeah, I didn't last long. If I didn't have the show in the morning, I could ride out going without coffee. But even on the cruise, every morning they have a coffee bar. It's like a Starbucks kind of bar. I went there. They open up every morning at 6. I was the first one. Yesterday, the withdrawals from the coffee were so bad during the show. I mean, I was out of it during the show yesterday. I don't even remember yesterday's show hardly. I was going through withdrawals. All I could think about was that Starbucks. Because there's one down the street. I was like, ugh. Is Lou Valentino the Hells Angels guy? It is bad withdrawal. Yeah, I had to overdose on caffeine after the show. I was in a complete fog during the show yesterday. It got worse as the show went on. At the top of the hour at 8 o'clock, I'm like, oh my, how am I going to get through this last hour? Because I was I could hardly read. Oh, who's the name of that Hells Angels guy that went to court with Trump? That's true, John, yeah. I don't know who that Lou guy is, but no, Trump's been talking about going to the Bronx for a long time. So whoever that is not bringing him there. All right, hour number 2 has begun. You know, I was talking, I'm going to Jacksonville after the show tomorrow. And, you know, Jacksonville, I believe, has the highest crime rate in all of Florida. I've not been to Jacksonville for many, many years. And I got a hotel, and it's supposed to be a nice hotel. And it's on that river up there. But I don't know. I mean, going to Jacksonville is like going to Miami, right? Miami's beautiful, but if you don't know Miami, you end up in a hotel in a really bad area. So I hope I'm in a nice area. But you know what? If I'm in a bad area, I'll get some good YouTube videos out of it at least. All right, well, listen, hour number 2 has begun. We're talking about Trump's rally in the Bronx. This is, I want to play this. This is a guy, he's Hispanic, he's in his early mid-20s, and he's on the streets of New York. Actually, he's in Times Square, and he's talking about Trump's rally in the Bronx.
Everybody, it's Trump Latinos. Listen, y'all can see we in
Trump Latinos. Is it not amazing how many Trump clubs and Republican groups there are in New York City?
Everybody, it's Trump Latinos. Listen, y'all can see we in New York. Trump done hit us up and is about to go down in the Bronx tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all don't miss out, man. Pull up to the rally. Let's go. We in New York.
Yeah. You think Renee from Harlem's going to go to the Trump rally today? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Great, I'm glad you just played that guy, because I was going to say, I was watching Newsmax, and Newsmax had a bunch of people from the Bronx, one after the other, saying how they can't wait to see President Trump. And these guys don't look like the kind of people that if there's protesters are going to allow protests. These guys are tough.
You know, in the media, all of the mainstream media are located in New York City. There is no, do you think they're going to carry that? Like, will this Trump rally be on Fox and CNN and MSNBC?
I doubt it.
It should. I mean, they're all there. They have no excuse not to be there. It's historic because any Republican doing an event like this who's a president or running for president in New York City is major national news. If they don't cover it, it's pure censorship.
Yep, I think it's going to be a great rally, and I don't think there's going to be much protest. If there is, there's going to be some. It's not going to be very nice, but we'll soon see. I'm glad he's finally doing this.
Well, listen, I think there'll be disruptors, but what my guess would be, you know, and these videos that you're seeing, like the ones I'm playing, like this guy here's got like tattoos on his face. These are I mean, you know what I mean? When when people have tattoos on their face. I think what will happen is what happens at other rallies, other Trump rallies. I think there'll be disruptors, and I think the rally goers will run them off.
Well, if they're smart, they won't be disruptive, because these guys look like they don't want to take no nonsense, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bronx people are, let's say, like the old days. They're not going to take what everybody is so.
Yeah, that's right. Now, am I wrong? Maybe, I don't know, you probably don't know, but you're in Florida. I've heard for years that Jacksonville has the highest crime rate in the state of Florida out of all the cities, more than Miami. Do you know if that's true?
I have no idea. I've never been to Jacksonville.
Oh, my goodness. It's the biggest city in Florida. It's bigger than Miami. Biggest city in Florida is Jacksonville. I'm just worried I'm going to get there. You know, sometimes, like, I went to, I was out of town, and I was going to a place I had not been, and I booked what looked like a great hotel, and I pulled up, and it was not in a nice area, and I got out of the shower, and somebody opened up the door to my room, and it was somebody who worked in the hotel. They thought the room was empty because it was the middle of the day. They were probably coming in to rob me. You know what I mean? And it looks so nice. So anytime I go to a city I haven't been to, the last time I was in Jacksonville was like 1988. Can you imagine? And but anytime I go to a city I haven't been to, and I'm staying in a hotel I don't know about, and I don't have somebody there that's telling me where to stay, I always get nervous.
Well, I have never had anybody even tell me why anything good about going to Jacksonville, so I guess that's why I never.
No, there's really nothing good about Jackson. I can't tell you one good thing about. I'm staying in Jacksonville, but I'm visiting a friend outside of Jacksonville, and I'm going to some place in Georgia. But I'd rather stay in Jacksonville than this town I'm going to in Georgia. So I'm taking. I don't know. I'm just taking a risk.
Yeah, Georgia is iffy too. Where you go, there's some really nice places in Georgia.
Yeah, the hotel's right off 95. If it's bad, I'll just get in the car and go somewhere else.
That's it. That's easy.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Did you hear Bill Maher talking to No Joy Behar about how he thinks President Biden is too old? Did you see? And what? Well, she said, well, he spoke great. And said, these people are nuts. These people are just...
Yeah, I have a clip of that. Since you brought it up, if you're on hold, hang in there. Hold on, I was going to play this later, maybe. This is the clip I was going to play. This is Joy Behar with Bill Maher.
But I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but
I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence the people who are on the fence?
Okay, so what Joy Behar is saying is there's things about Biden she doesn't like or approve of, but she lies to her audience because she's afraid that if she says what she really thinks about Biden, they might vote for Trump. Now, I proudly say I'll never disagree with President Trump or criticize Trump, but he hasn't done anything or said anything that I disagree with, right? I've agreed with everything that he's ever said or done, and, that's different than what she's saying. She's looking for support from this jerk, Bill Maher. She doesn't like Biden. She's got a lot of criticisms, but she lies to her audience because she's afraid they'll vote for Trump. That's pretty bad.
That's terrible. He's so great, even though he's old and shouldn't be in power, but he's great. These people are crazy, and this is what's wrecking our society because people tune into this junk and they believe it.
I don't know how. I don't watch The View, but I play clips from it, and I'll hear about something, and I'll see it like on Twitter. This article here I saw in Breitbart, and I just pull it up off of that. I mean, if they have, I did watch them like a year ago. They had the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation on, so I watched that interview that Whoopi Goldberg did. But I don't watch. I don't think many people watch The View. I think most people do what I do, is watch clips of it online when something controversial happens like that.
Well, I think that they have their own audience like this, and like I said, I have that one liberal I know that's friends with Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Oh.
All they talk about is,
Have you seen Debbie Wasserman Schultz in person?
Yes, I did.
Doesn't her body looks like it's two different bodies attached, like the top of her body, she looks like a petite lady, and then from the hips below, it's like a whole nother body, isn't it? I don't know how to describe it, but it's very strange.
And somebody needs to give her some money to go get her hair fixed.
Oh, yes. Debbie Wasserman Schultz definitely needs to get her hair fixed. That's true. All right, take care, Doug. All right, I'm going to get in trouble now talking about physical stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Megan from Texas.
Hey, Megan. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Went to the NRA Trump event. Amazing. My first time seeing him in person, but I know I'll save that for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The reason the left hates this Bronx rally tonight is because it shows that President Trump is a president for all the people. He doesn't care if you're in a blue state and you're a red state, you like him or not. He's going to be your president, and he's there for all. He doesn't divide us.
And I what I think is going to happen here, too? I think, and this isn't really the first, because he was in Minnesota Friday, but this is going to be kind of like the launch of a blue state, blue city tour by Trump. And, if I were advising Trump, if anybody at Mar-a-Lago is listening today, what I would like is the message in these blue states and cities is your country has abandoned you. I'm here. We're here for you. Vote for me. I'm here for you. And go through, like California has been totally abandoned by the Republicans, and we're here to rescue you.
Exactly, and that's what really got me in 2016 with President Trump, is when he said, the forgotten men and women are forgotten no longer. He said, I see you. And that just made me sit up.
So, you don't, by the way, so you saw Trump at the NRA. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. Tell me about that. You were at the NRA event with President Trump?
Yes, it was amazing. We were seated, my boyfriend and I were seated back by where the media is, and Brian from RSBN was right there, like a few feet away. But it was amazing. Everybody is so wonderful there. That you get up, you're like, can you please watch my seat? You know, I got to run to here or there. Oh, yeah, we got you. Just wonderful people. Everybody's smiling and laughing, singing. Some of the people were dancing. It was one.
You know, at any Trump event, you know, because the seats are not always assigned. You know, you can go up, go to the bathroom, come back, and your seat's still waiting. People don't steal your seats. They don't steal your stuff. Everyone's polite. It's like a family.
Yes, it was amazing. And he took the stage. He was excellent as always. And
but you know, I never sit with the press, and I'll tell you the reason I don't sit. The NRA convention might have been a little different, but I don't want President Trump to look back and think that I'm with those creeps. So I never sit with the press, but I have seen, now the NRA convention's a little different, but I've been to Trump events and seen the press. What they do when he's talking is they protest. And what, you know, the press at a Trump rally are center of the stage, and when Trump is speaking, he is at the level and looking directly where the press are. And what they do is go out of their way to not pay attention. They lean back in their chairs. They're involved in conversations. And when you are, like we used to have this, I always got board op stories because we've had a lot of them. But this one studio that I used to broadcast from, the board op and I faced each other. And this guy would sleep during the show, you know, and you know how hard it is to do Mike could sleep. He's behind me. I wouldn't notice. But I'm looking at the guy for 3 hours, and he's sleeping. By the way, getting paid to sleep, by the way. And it's distracting. Well, that's what the press do. They do everything they can do to try to distract him while he's speaking. They're really scummy people.
Yeah, I agree with you. We were far enough away from them where I could see Brian. That's the only one I really wanted to interact with and wave to him, but I didn't have to, concentrate.
Now, you know that Brian Glenn from Right Side Broadcasting, the NRA convention was his last broadcast for Right Side Broadcasting. He's leaving, and he has not said why. And I still haven't seen a reason why. And he said that he referenced that there's going to be programming changes at Right Side Broadcasting. I don't know what that's about. Do you? Oh, no, I disconnected the call by mistake. I think I did. All right, did I lose you?
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I disconnected the call by mistake. I put you on hold. Brian Glenn, I'm curious as to why he's leaving Right Side, because he didn't give any explanation, and I'm wondering if Right Side is okay, because Brian had mentioned something about new type of programming on Right Side Broadcasting in his exit announcement, without saying what that means.
That would be horrible. If Right Side turns and starts to go woke, that would be the big...
I'm not so worried about them going woke. I'm worried if something happened to... My goodness, Christina Bobb... Let me tell you why I'm worried, okay? Christina Bobb, who is one of the correspondents for Right Side Broadcasting, is also one of President Trump's attorneys. Christina Bobb from Right Side Broadcasting was the Trump attorney at Mar-a-Lago when the FBI broke in, and she stood up to the FBI and wouldn't turn the cameras off. She just got arrested in Arizona, right? And she's got a mugshot. And I'm just wondering, and I hope that I have not talked to anyone that I know about this, okay? This is... I'm just wondering if something has happened with Right Side, like this thing with Christina Bobb and the mugshot and things this week. It's a lot's going on, and I'm just wondering if something's happened to Right Side.
That's a good question. I wouldn't put it past. The left wants to take down as many, of us or...
You don't think I know? That's what I do for a living. But it could be also... It also could be Brian Glenn, through his Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump connections, has got some great new job lined up too. That's possible. But he didn't seem excited in his announcement. It could.
He didn't look excited. It's sad, actually. I was like, the first time I get to meet him is the last time.
Well, you know, I met him. I've met him a few times, but the last time I saw him was at this Turning Point thing, and I was watching him do the show, and he was staring at me while he was on the air, and I was starting to get nervous because it was not long after he left his wife for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I talked about that on the air, and I thought he looked like he was pissed. And like, you know, and then when they went to break, he came up to me and said, "Oh, Brian, I've seen you on YouTube." So he knew me, but he was nice. But I was really nervous. I thought he was pissed off at me for talking about how he shouldn't have left his wife and all that stuff. But he didn't even bring it up. So I got lucky. That would have been uncomfortable. But I'll just say this though about Right Side. See, not just the rallies, anytime President Trump speaks, Right Side Broadcasting carries it. And and they've been doing this for years. And Right Side Broadcasting is very, very important. With Right Side Broadcasting, you have access to 100% of the Trump speeches and rallies. You know, the media, even Newsmax, don't carry them all. And if something has happened to Newsmax, like maybe someone's bought, if something happens to Newsmax, we're going to lose the ability for so many millions of Americans to see 100% of the Trump speeches. So I'm just hoping that nothing's wrong with Right Side.
Well, I'll keep them in my prayers. I've got so many people and organizations that in my prayers, including, of course, President Trump and his family, what they tried to do. You know, I think attempt to take him out.
Yeah, well, they was attempt to do something. Hey, appreciate the call. All right, we'll take our first break of the second hour and be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
2 chocolate chip muffins coming in. Thank you.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Hey, can someone get that?
Like at Claire's Cafe. To satisfy demand for takeout, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio.
Oh yeah, I don't have to.
Dr. Philip Appleton.
Well, you know, maybe because they don't have that in, maybe they shut down some of the internet stuff and the internet's overloaded. The network's overloaded.
Once again, I've listened to this show since the mid-80s.
Sleeping in front of you is
introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian.
Pissed me off. Pissed me off. Pissed me off. Oh yeah. Oh, I got a million board up stories.
Believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation.
The United Nations, who's still pulling in pretty large numbers, a vote 2 months after quitting the race. Someone who ran against Donald Trump is too old and unfit.
Appointments not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching. Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Your prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed. And you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor will order. They even have drug testing and STD testing.
Oh my gosh, I took that break really late.
Test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test now programs. These are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldie.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, coming up in 25 minutes after the hour. I'm sorry, I took that last break really late, so this will be a short segment so we can get back on schedule. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Joe from West Palm Beach.
Hey, what's up?
Guys, Klaus Schwab has officially retired the World Economic Forum. The seismic shift from Trump is factors.
Well, this guy from the World Economic Forum, Klaus von Bülow, whatever his name is. Okay, yeah. Anybody remember Klaus von Bülow? He was a client of Alan Dershowitz. He was infamous for doing some things with his wife. They made a movie about it where Jeremy Irons played him. I can't remember the name of the movie. Reversal of Fortune is the movie. And Alan Dershowitz is played by Ron Silver. So they got rid of this Klaus von Hitler guy at the World Economic Forum. So what? They're going to plug in some other jerk. It's the world. You know, the World Economic Forum is to Europe what the Congress is to America. That's how all the European people steal their money from public funding.
Yes, but my point being is it's a shift because all the rats are leaving the sinking ship because they cannot get rid of Trump. Simon's looking on the way out of Chase. All these CEOs are fleeing. Melinda Gates left Bill Gates' company. Everybody's going because they see they can't get rid of him. He's going to change, and he's going to go after a lot of them, and they know. They're trying to pull a move before they don't go in trouble, and they see the writing.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that photograph of Klaus from the World Economic Forum in that weird space-looking suit?
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah. I mean, he's really bad. All right, appreciate the call. All right, take care. Yeah, a lot of people get all upset about the World Economic Forum. I mean, I can't. I don't really get into that too much because what are we going to do, right? I mean, I got to worry more about what's going on in this country than the World Economic Forum. Not that they're good. I mean, they're bad. They're evil people, but it's just how they do their money grab in Europe, as opposed to like this Congress over here in this country. Now, a woman who has sex with men that she's not married to in parking lots, a woman who has sex with men she's not married to in her government office, sometimes while her husband is deployed in war zones, has endorsed President Trump. Yes, that's right. And, of course, I'm talking about Nikki Haley.
Biden has been a catastrophe. So I will be voting for Trump.
That's great. Good. We get the skank vote there. And the cheating wife for Trump movement we have. There's a lot of talk about this, though, in liberal circles. And they're like, she said all these terrible things, and they like to play clips, and, what does this really mean, and why is she endorsing him? What's this endorsement about? Kamala Harris said that Joe Biden was a racist segregationist in the first debate. Pretty hardcore. She said it many times, and she backed it up with specific examples of things he did that were racist and segregationist. things. And I never hear them questioning, well, why did she endorse and run with him as his running mate? There's a long history of people in primaries getting very nasty and becoming friends. I mean, look at Marco Rubio. In the first campaign, he was getting speeches making references that Donald Trump had a small penis. Remember that? He was talking about the size of his hands and all this stuff. Remember that? Then he would laugh, like, you know. So he was a big anti-Trump guy, and now he's a good guy and an ally. This is what happens. It happens with all of them, you know. So Nikki, I mean, I don't want to see Nikki Haley having any position of importance. You know, she's part of the military-industrial complex and wants wars, many more wars, to make herself rich. But I'll take the endorsement. Yes, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, hello, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Bronx, New York.
Oh, okay. What intersection are you nearest?
We are on Riverdale, Bronx.
Yeah, no, what intersection? What cross streets are you at?
All
right. Okay, whatever. It sounds like, well, maybe, okay. Okay.
But we support Trump, and we are for Trump.
Good.
Yeah, and we will be there on his speech. And I am originally from the Philippines.
Oh.
Filipino.
You know, that's a funny thing. See, this guy's legit. I did a little test there. I was a little suspicious. You know, but then he told us he's from the Philippines. You know, this is an amazing thing. Whenever I go to any Trump event, there are tons of people from the Philippines and Vietnam, and a lot of Chinese. What is it about Trump that attracts so many Asians?
Because, you know, he's a conservative person, and we are the conservative people from the Philippines.
Yeah.
You support Trump.
That's good. That's good.
And he's for America first. And I just I'm American citizen since 84.
Congratulations. You've been here since 84, or you just became a citizen now?
No, since 84.
Since 84. Well, that's awesome.
Yes. We've been in the Bronx since 2005.
So you are in the Bronx. See, I did a little test there in the beginning, but you're definitely in the Bronx. You're not one of these guys. So what time are you going to head over there? It's going to be pretty crowded. You might have to go early.
I don't care. As long as we will be there. We are near. We are near the Control Park.
Yeah.
We are near. We'll be there by 3 o'clock, by 2:30 in the afternoon.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, a lot of people in the media are saying that Trump's not welcome in the Bronx.
You see, he is very much welcome here. We are deciding majority here in the Bronx.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, good luck. Call me tomorrow after you saw him, after tonight. Call me tomorrow morning and let me know how your experience was.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, take care. That's right. That's right, mine too. Filipinos for Trump. See, the accent, I thought he was kind of mumbling his voice there and was kind of was a crank, but I was wrong. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom and be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Someone who served as ambassador to the United Nations, who's still polling in pretty large numbers, a vote 2 months after quitting the race. Someone who ran against Donald Trump as too old and unfit to serve today said he has her vote. Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley in 2015 said, quote, Donald Trump is everything I've taught my children.
She finally made all of her money, and now she could support him.
Yeah, exactly.
Agree with you. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of minding.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
And I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and it was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden.
What?
Mike told me to keep checking just in case.
Oh.
I thought it's gonna work.
Why? What's it doing that it's not working? It's just not connecting?
Like it'll load for a few seconds. It'll say it's connecting, and then it'll just be like error cannot connect.
Yeah.
And then now it's just saying unknown error.
Mm-hmm.
It's not telling me what it is.
Well, what I'm going to, you guys getting behind the scene, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take another call or two. I'm going to play what Nicole Wallace was saying about Nikki Haley's endorsement, and then I'm going to play the Kamala Harris thing. They don't question her loyalty or her endorsement of Biden. Kamala. This tape, I broke these glasses this morning right before the air, so I just taped them. If you're on hold, hang in there. And, of course, everyone that's not subscribed, subscribe, okay? We'll be back shortly. It's hot every day here in Florida right now. All right, we're coming back in 16 seconds.
Standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 4.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is New York. How are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
Good. I'll be going to the Trump rally today.
Oh, exciting. In the Bronx.
Yes, I will.
You going to wear a MAGA hat?
I don't know. I don't know about that yet.
Well, you don't feel safe in New York?
I don't know about it yet. I'll take it with me, but I'll feel the crowd out first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You excited?
I've been to many Trump rallies before.
Yeah, but this one's historic because it's in New York. I mean, this is like this rally today is history. It's not just a regular rally. You know. I want you to think about this. If you are witnessing today at this rally in the Bronx a moment that will be in history books.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sound too excited.
No, I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous about seeing Trump, or are you nervous about liberal New Yorkers?
No, I'm nervous to talk on the air. No, I'm not nervous about.
Oh, don't be nervous to talk on the air. You sound fine. What are you nervous about?
I don't know. It's nerve-wracking calling into your show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'll be there.
All right. Well, call me tomorrow and let me know how the rally went.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Have a good time at the rally. Man, I wish I could go to the rally in the Bronx. Okay, so let me get back to this. So this is Nikki Haley.
Biden has been a catastrophe. So I will be voting for Trump.
Okay, so Nikki Haley not only endorsed Trump, she's going to be voting for Trump. And the left are having these, like, flip-outs over this, like she's some kind of hypocrite. So this is Nicole Wallace on MSNBC yesterday. Nicole Wallace is a Republican. She used to work for John McCain. She's really a fake Republican, but listen.
Someone who served as ambassador to the United Nations, who's still pulling in pretty large numbers, a vote 2 months after quitting the race. Someone who ran against Donald Trump as too old and unfit to serve today said he has her vote. Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley in 2015 said, quote, Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten. I taught my little ones, you don't lie and make things up. She ended up serving in his administration.
Who are these people?
On January 6th, she called it an ugly day. She then went and said a couple months later that she wouldn't run against him for president. She ended up running for president. And then we saw Nikki Haley, while her husband was deployed to Africa with the U.S. Armed Services, mocked by Donald Trump for being away. And it was the words of Nikki Haley that were very explicit about Donald Trump. Said, in part, that they were disgusting, awful, unhinged, and said that somebody that makes comments like that doesn't deserve to be commanded. Her own husband got on social media and fired back and said the difference between humans and animals would never allow the dumbest ones to lead the pack. His allies pushed extramarital affair rumors about her.
Those were not rumors. The guys that had sex with her while her husband was elsewhere, sometimes even in the family car, came public and even gave sworn statements that were notarized, okay?
Who suggested that she may not even be eligible to run for president because her parents are immigrants. And today, her announcing that she's going to vote for Donald Trump is just, I think, another chapter in something that we've already lived out with the likes of Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio 8 years ago. She did raise her hand in that Republican debate and said that she would vote for a convicted felon if Donald Trump was found guilty. And today is evidence that she's sticking to her word.
We need shrinks and cult experts to explain this because.
Oh yes, okay. So we need therapists, psychiatrists, and cult experts to examine people like Nikki Haley, because there is a long history of rivalries during primaries going on to endorse others. Okay, and the most recent is Willie Brown's girlfriend. Willie Brown's girlfriend, her given name is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, let me play this clip. This is Kamala Harris in the first Democrat debate with Joe Biden.
I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, there was a little girl in California.
Oh, here we go. I was that girl.
To integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Okay, so she called it, she said, you're not a racist, but you're a segregationist. Okay, yeah. So here you have Kamala Harris calling Joe Biden in the first debate one of the worst things you can call someone, a segregationist who doesn't want white kids to go to school with black kids. And now she not only endorsed him, she's his vice president. I never heard Nicole Wallace or any of these mainstream media hacks call these people out on that. It's only when it's Trump. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour and be right back.
Cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The...
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. How did the workshop go the other day, Barry?
Oh, it went great. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking. It went very well. So today, first of all, anybody who has taken the time to set up an estate plan to protect themselves and their family, that's terrific. It's great that you've done that. And what estate plans do, they can help you avoid probate if you're setting up a trust, avoid guardianship, set up the bloodline, make sure you have the right people, not the wrong people receiving your assets. You have the right people in there making decisions for you if you can't. But the question is your estate plan going to protect you if you or your spouse become ill and need long-term care? How are you going to cover the cost of long-term care, and are you prepared? Because not all estate plans are going to help you be prepared. So when that time comes, so that you'd be able to qualify for government benefits like Medicaid that will offset significant portions of the cost of your long-term care. And the cost of long-term care could cause you or your spouse to end up having to spend down your assets and potentially go broke. So the thing is, you want to have an estate plan that prepares you so that when the time comes, you're not going to sit with the lawyer, or your family's not going to sit with the lawyer, and the lawyer's going to have to say, I'm sorry, we can't help you, because your estate plan was not prepared properly for the issue of long-term care. It may have been a great estate plan for passing on your estate for other reasons, avoiding probate, everything else I just mentioned, but it didn't prepare you for the long-term care issue. And that's what we do at the Siegel Law, because we not only do estate planning, we are elder law attorneys, so we know what to put in your estate plan and how to set you up in advance so that we never have to say, I'm sorry, we can't help you.
Yeah. And you know what? Don't tell yourself, oh, I have too much money, or I own this house. It's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, let the Siegel Law Group and Attorney Barry Siegel, let them look at your situation and let the experts tell you. And by the way, don't go to the worst law firm ever called Google. You get all kinds of bad information there too. And I've talked to many of our listeners who have come to you, Barry, for the long-term care, and it's a lifesaver, because a lot of times the adult kids, some of them, they'll quit their jobs so they can take care of mom and dad at home and things like this. And there's some major financial burdens and sacrifices are made by families that you very well may not have to make. So call the Siegel Law Group. It's a toll-free number. Remember, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, I'll look forward to it.
We'll be right back.
Breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty, welcome back, one and all. It is 47 minutes after the hour. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I was playing this clip earlier. Let me just, this Bronx rally is just fantastic. Let me share this. I played this at the top. I wasn't going to play it again, but it's relevant to this. This is... I think this was Newsmax. This was Newsmax. Newsmax went into the Bronx and interviewed some people. And listen.
Everybody's struggling. People are getting desperate too. That brings the crime up. When you get poverty and you get a bunch of people that come here that get actually more benefits than the people that been here, then what?
Okay. That's a black man in the Bronx who's pissed off. He was asked about the Trump rally. He's supporting Trump. And you see what he said at the end? He's talking about the illegals are getting all this free stuff, and he doesn't like it. And a lot of people who are black don't like it, especially people that are struggling don't like it. Well, I came across this today. This is an illegal alien who crossed into Texas. And she went on the local news complaining. Listen, this is an illegal.
She was overcome with emotions. She feels the weight of the world on her right now. It took her and her children a month and a half to get from El Salvador to Mexico, where they crossed the country into Texas. They got moved to New York City, and they were in a housing program that sent them here to Rochester. They arrived in January of this year and lived at the Holiday Inn downtown for 4 months. And they were moved here 3 weeks ago.
Muy traumática.
It's very traumatic.
Porque no creí.
She says it's been quite traumatic. Everything that was told to us to come to Monroe County, to Rochester, hasn't been fulfilled.
Do you like America?
Sí. Pero no Rochester.
But not Rochester.
No. No good Rochester.
Do you want to stay in America?
Yeah.
Her only English is no good Rochester. Okay, so what she's complaining about is she's not getting enough free crap. She wants more free stuff. You know, and I feel bad for this lady. I mean, I do. I'm not heartless. I'm not cruel. But she came here with her family illegally, crossed into Texas. They set her up in New York, and it's not enough. She wants more free stuff. She's struggling. That pisses people off. And I'll tell you, there are people that are working hard each and every day that are struggling because of inflation. You guys know how much everything costs now compared to what it cost in 2019. And that should be a Trump campaign commercial too. Illegal alien complaining that she's not getting enough free stuff while Americans are struggling. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello? Hey.
Hey.
B.
Hey, IB. What's up?
Hey, this is going to be awesome, man. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to predict Trump is going to blow that Jersey rally out of the water. Remember when Trump first came out of the court on the first day, and we knew that he was going to be trapped and he wouldn't be able to do the rallies. And I said, what about Brooklyn, New York, Staten Island, the Bronx?
Yeah.
Harlem. So here we go, right? When he went to the Burger King over there, here we go. The sheriff is coming, knocking on the door. The door is the White House, and you're going to throw out your belongings. That's going to be evicting Biden. Biden is such a fool. These people are like Arrested Development. How could someone say, vote for Trump, but he's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be your opponent?
Mm-hmm.
How is that?
You know, now I wonder, now I wonder because we've got this, the jury in this corrupt judge's courtroom is going to have the case next week. The Bronx, we got the Trump rally tonight. It's going to be a huge success. I mean, I think they make a mistake assuming just because these jurors are New Yorkers that they're going to go guilty on an innocent man. I think a lot of New Yorkers apparently love Trump. I've heard from some on the phones this morning.
And for you people who are concerned about Trump, not only that God is on his side, on his shoulder, a little angel, but he's going to have an additional circle around the Secret Service, meaning that the public, the people are going to be through osmosis having pitchforks in their hand, figuratively speaking. Anyone who tries to corrupt or do anything negative, they will be shut down. I guarantee you that. Trump is actually going to be safer there than in D.C.
Yeah, that's right. And the turnout, listen, believe me, they're going to do whatever they can do to disrupt turnout. I talked about this at 6, okay? One of the things I'm expecting is a lot of loud music blaring and those horns that they blow, that they make noises. A lot of liberals are going to show up and do whatever it is they can do to disrupt the rally. Having a rally at that time of day in New York, too, you got, that's a busy traffic time, but they're going to do whatever they can do to disrupt it. But I think it's going to be a historic success.
forget what they did when they shined those spotlights in Mar-a-Lago and played the loud music, and not only disturbing Mar-a-Lago but the other neighbors as well. That's how rude the Democrats are. Let some purple or green hair person come around with their little horn too. They will get shut.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those horns. All right, I appreciate the call, IB. And, remember, Nikki Haley is not the only endorsement President Trump received yesterday. His most high-profile endorsement is right here.
A campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection.
See that? There's Joe Biden. He says he cannot win reelection.
We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's Joe Biden. He said we can't win this election, and we can only elect Donald Trump. So that's a pretty big endorsement. How did Trump wrangle an endorsement out of Biden?
We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
There you go. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the best. I love that. That's another campaign commercial. This is absolutely amazing. Joe Biden, and this has never happened in history before, where a president who's running for re-election has endorsed the candidate of the opposing party that's running against him. So we've made some history here. So Nikki Haley's endorsement really isn't the biggest one of all. It's the Biden one. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, hey, this is Joan in Tampa Bay, actually, Valrico.
Hey, Joan.
How dare they? Do you know, I started working, and my Social Security paperwork shows, I started working and earning a wage when I was a junior in high school. That was 1972. I paid into the system. I ain't getting much, hon. You know?
Yeah.
And they're getting everything.
Yeah, and this unlike this illegal alien woman, I don't think the local news is coming to your house trying to get sympathy from the community to increase your Social Security benefits.
Yeah, and that Uber, what's her name is, how dare they? How dare you? But I say, how dare you? How dare you? Just like that green person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I'm fed up. I'm fed up.
Well, you know, you're not alone. A lot of people feel, listen, we all feel sorry for, I'm sure this lady is a nice lady, but for her to go on TV, she's got free housing, free food, you know, all this stuff, and she said, it's not enough. It's not enough. You know, I don't get any free food or free housing. Zero.
Why? And I'm going to be turning 68 in a few months, and I'm still working a 40-hour week full-time job. Yes, I work from home, so it's very convenient, but I'm still putting in a 40-hour work week.
Yeah, exactly. How many hours a week do you think that lady works? I bet you 0.
I bet you 0.
Mm-hmm.
That right, hon.
Mm-hmm. All right, take care from Tampa. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing today, Brian?
All right, how are you?
This is Antonio.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just haven't heard what's the guy from New York?
Renee from Harlem.
I know he's going through so much sweat. He's probably got big speakers ready to play, make noises. He's about to do the clown town.
Oh yeah.
At a rally the other day.
Yeah, you think Renee's going to go? You think Renee's going to go to the Trump rally?
He's going to make a scene. He's going to make.
How's he going to play loud music? Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't have a car to blast music from. How's he going to blast music, Renee from Harlem? He has no car. Oh, steal it? Yeah.
Borrow it from his friend.
Borrow his mom's car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Nice hearing from you, and it's a good thing Trump is having that rally today. I think it's going to go well. I really do think it's going to go well.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not going to be any buffoonery or anything.
Well, let me tell you, because I've already heard from 2 or 3 callers this morning that are going to the rally in the Bronx. Here's the thing: if you go to any Trump event, be cool. You know, don't you be the problem. If somebody, let me tell you, I've seen people act out at rallies. There's security everywhere. You just don't see them. They're in plain clothes. They take care of everybody. You don't have to intervene. If somebody starts acting up, just stand there. They'll be taken out within seconds. So do not because if one MAGA person does one thing, that becomes the whole story. So be cool and let security handle everything.
And NYPD, they're gonna be 100. They're gonna stand up for Trump. They're gonna be there for him.
Oh yeah.
Always been there for them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's 19 from you, Brian, in Mega World.
All right, take care. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. All right, now I want to tell you guys this. That if you need new tires, you want to go to Friendly Tire in Margate. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate has new tires for as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire does not charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. When you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, the price he gives you is out the door and on the road. And it's tires as low as $70 a tire, and that's for tires that are very common sizes on some of the most common vehicles on the road, okay? So give them a call, 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and come back with more of your calls. We're talking about this incredible, historic Trump rally in the Bronx. We'll get to that. There's a few other stories we need to touch on, too, and some updates on the Mar-a-Lago raid from yesterday's discussion. I mentioned at the top of the show, but I want to cover those again after the top of the hour because it's a huge story that no one is covering. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Are we ready to go to break, Mike? We'll find out. All right, we'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
Oh, you're in the office over there? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, this room's still having a problem with Mike's office.
Oh, cool. All right.
So we got something going.
Okay. You there, Steve?
Up here.
All right. So, yeah, they texted me tomorrow. We're going to try the new thing. They said so.
We'll be ready. Hopefully it all works, and you know, we got something new.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Now, guys, I want to put a link in here. This is one of our YouTube watchers. They have a book they've asked me to tell you guys about. So if you could click that link and check it out. The book is... hold on. I got to do it again. Oh, they have a book. It's a... one of our YouTube watchers. Let me put the link in there again. There you go. It's free on Kindle. Yes, there it is. That works. Free on Kindle. Here, I'll pin it up there for a while. If you guys could check that out. We'll be back shortly.
By Donald Trump, and this case has been so deeply racialized by that person, by Donald Trump, and this case, because it's Fulton County, because this is a county that is run by African Americans.
buying new tires because
All right.
you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Hey, how's it going? Oh, lots of stuff happening. I got a big update on this Mar-a-Lago raid. I want to recap because this is huge stuff. Now, yesterday we were talking the warrant that Merrick Garland signed off on, that Joe Biden signed off on. The FBI was authorized to use deadly force in the Mar-a-Lago raid. Isn't that crazy? And when they showed up, by the way, it wasn't just a few FBI agents at the gate. They had boats surrounding Mar-a-Lago and air support as well. But this is a few things new came out. But the main thing was this, is that prior to the raid, the FBI notified the local trauma center emergency room to prepare for casualties in the trauma center. So they went in expecting a gunfight at the OK Corral or Waco or something. And, of course, we have all of this information because the judge in the documents case, Judge Cannon, who was appointed by Trump, is the only non-crooked judge in all of these Trump cases. And she is releasing all of these things that have been hidden and redacted until now. So they got some explaining to do. Why did they notify? They said every warrant allows deadly force, but why did they not? Why did they notify the local trauma center to prepare for casualties? Merrick Garland needs to be called out on this. But anyway, so what's on your mind, Steve?
Very good question.
Oh, maybe it's not a good question. Maybe it's not a good question.
I've got all kinds of... Now...
Oh, that's okay. Well, no, you're on the air. You're on the air. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Well, today is the Bronx rally in New York, which is going to be big. It's around 6 o'clock tonight. So, that's, and tomorrow we'll be processing that. But this rally that Trump is having in the Bronx is historic. This has not happened before. Ronald Reagan, won New York. That was a long time ago. And I'm unclear, did he win it in 80 or 84 or both? But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're talking about 40 years ago, even if it was 84. That's I'm going to round that up. That's half a century, right? 40 years ago, I'm going to add 10 years to it. That's pretty much half a century ago since a Republican won New York. And doing an event like Trump is doing, they say is the first time since Calvin Coolidge. I don't know. That's like 100 years ago. It's a pretty big deal. And contrary to what AOC is saying and others in the media, he's not doing this rally in New York because he is confined to New York because of the court case. He's not. And on Friday last week, he did an event in Minnesota after he'd been in court all day. And a lot of people don't know this. Trump has more than one plane. Trump Force One's not his only plane. He has another jet that's smaller. It doesn't have his name on it or anything. It's white, and it's parked at the Palm Beach Airport right next to Trump Force One, and people just don't know it's Trump's plane. I don't know what type of plane it is, but it is the fastest private jet that a civilian can own in the United States and fly over U.S. airspace. And he used that rally during the first campaign, and I'm assuming he's using it now. He can get anywhere really fast. And his event in Minnesota last Friday was around 6 o'clock at night. So he's not doing this thing in the Bronx because he's confined to the city because of the trial. That's just not true. He's doing the rally in the Bronx because he's popular in New York City. New York is in play. And I was talking earlier, I think this is going to be the beginning of a series of blue state and blue city rallies that Trump does. And this is a nightmare for the left because groups that they've taken for granted are not supporting them anymore. And what that means is he's eroded their base. And, you know, your base supporters, you never lose them, or you never expect to lose them. And the way that presidential campaigns are designed is not to go after base support, but go after those undecided middle-of-the-road people that only follow politics every 4 years. And they really don't have a machine in place, to the Democrats, to handle losing people in their base, which is what's happening right now. And I'm guessing this rally in the Bronx will be the opposite of a disaster. I think it's going to be an incredible success. Now, if there's some people 3 blocks away who do something, turn over a garbage can or something, that'll be what the media will want to present as the rally, chaos and violence. But it's not. It's going to be like any other Trump event. Now, the other thing they're going to do is, of course, they're going to declare every rally a low turnout because he had 100,000 in New Jersey, and that's going to become what they want you to think is the new standard. That was the largest political speech audience of any president or presidential candidate in U.S. history. Okay, so that's not going to be duplicated anywhere, especially in a small area like this park. The permit they have is only for like 3,500 people. That park doesn't even hold that many. Okay, I mean, not even close to it. But so they're going to declare that it's a low turnout because there's only a few thousand. The Democrats are going to try to disrupt it with loud music and horns. They'll probably have some people as close as they can get causing violence and mayhem and things like this. And some of the people that go around causing mayhem may be wearing MAGA hats. You know, just because somebody has a MAGA hat on doesn't mean they're MAGA. So be prepared for all kinds of stuff. And when the media covers this tomorrow, they want that to be the story. But other than AOC, I haven't seen one person talking about the Bronx rally from the Bronx who's had anything except excitement about it. So anyway, our number 1-888-465-2631. Now, before we get back to that, though, I do want to play a little bit from Joy Reid with the gigolo, Fannie Willis's gigolo, Nathan Wade. Okay, now this guy, he must be very incredible when it comes to sex, because Fannie Willis paid this man almost $700,000 to have sex with her, right? I mean, this guy earned almost $680-some thousand. She paid this guy that she was having an affair with. So he was on Joy Reid last night talking about why people are after him and Fannie Willis.
This case has been so deeply racialized by that person, by Donald Trump. And this case, because it's Fulton County, because this is a county that is run by African Americans, where the DA is black, she was just overwhelmingly reelected, DA Willis, where obviously you're African American, that has to play a role in it, does it not? I mean,
okay, so let's stop there. So what Joy Reid just said is that Donald Trump and anyone who's questioning the integrity of Fannie Willis and her gigolo boyfriend here, the fact that they're black has got to be why they're doing it. If you look at these cases against Trump, it's all minorities. Bragg in New York, right? Letitia James in New York, both black. The judge in the January 6th case, black. You know, the only judge that doesn't have a prosecutor or a black person involved in the proceeding is the one here in Florida, Judge Cannon, right? But other than and she's the Trump appointed one, other than Judge Cannon, it's been women and black men that have been bringing all these charges against President Trump. Okay, so I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, it seems to me that they're in power.
Deeply racialized by that person, by Donald Trump. And this case, because it's Fulton County, because this is a county that is run by African Americans, where the DA is black, she was just overwhelmingly reelected, DA Willis, where obviously you're African American, that has to play a role in it, does it not? I mean, we saw what happened with Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, the racialized attacks on them.
Oh, please.
How much of this case do you believe has become racialized, and how do you think that that's impacted the way people perceive it?
You know, now the gigolo's going to talk. And I mean, he's got this sugar mama, Fannie Willis. She paid him over $680,000. She's having sex with the guy, okay? I mean, you know, give me a break. The reason people are ticked off is, one, They got no case against him. They arrested a president of the United States. And she's using taxpayer money to pay off her gigolo boyfriend.
So, ironically, in his clip, he mentions being paid almost $1 million, I think was his exact verbiage. I was paid, to be exact, $250 an hour. My hours were capped. He's paying his lawyers $500,000 a month.
Yeah.
$500,000 a month.
Okay, so, all right, Joy Reid, we don't need to hear any more from you. Okay, so Fannie Willis's gigolo boyfriend, Nathan Wade, is saying, yes, all these criticisms of me getting paid by my sugar mama are racial, it's racist. I was only paid $250 an hour. Trump is paying his attorneys $500,000 a month. Well, there's a difference between both of those, and it's not just that Trump isn't having sex with his lawyers, like Fannie is with her gigolo boyfriend. Trump's paying his lawyers with his own money, out of his own pocket, or that people have donated for his legal fund. Fannie Willis has been using taxpayer money to overpay a guy that she's having sex with, okay? That when you're paying the attorneys with your own money, you can pay them $500,000 a month and it's no one's business. But when you're paying someone that you're sleeping with almost $700,000, people get ticked off at that. And and it's not because you're black, okay? That's not the problem. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Ricky from North Carolina.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, man. I just want to say, no matter what these liberal lunatics do with President Trump, like, it's going to be a win regardless.
Mm-hmm.
He's convicted, it's a win.
Absolutely.
Poll numbers are going to skyrocket if he's found innocent or whatever happens. It's a win anyways. I just want to...
You're right. In fact, if they, he is so clearly not guilty of anything. The only crimes that have been discovered are Michael Cohen's crimes of theft from Trump. So if this jury comes back with a guilty verdict, I don't know how many points in the approval numbers Trump will go up, but it's got to be at least 10. I mean, there's never been a case where the defendant was as innocent as this by the presentation of the prosecution. And if they come, but Trump's doing a rally in New York City today. He's not as unpopular there as people want you to believe. So don't assume because it's a New York jury that they're going to go guilty on an innocent man.
About a month ago, I was listening to you and your wife's podcast. Wife mentioned that she said that he should do a rally right there in New York City.
Absolutely.
I hope he does, and he's actually doing it.
Yeah.
I was really happy to hear that he.
And this is the second time the New Jersey rally's close by. So, he's really targeting this hardcore blue Democrat stronghold, that whole part of the country. And if you notice, in New Jersey, there were no protesters either. I didn't see one protester in any of the coverage. So we may be surprised, and there may be little or no protesting in the Bronx today.
Yep.
All right, all right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, we'll take our first break of the third hour and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air.
Accusing President Biden of trying to assassinate Trump. And moments ago, Trump's team sent out this newsletter, came into my email. They call it
but it comes from DonaldJTrump.com. The very first line under top news falsely claims that deadly force was authorized against Trump during an FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago. That the intent of that being a possible assassination. The newsletter coming just an hour after Trump gave this radio interview. Newly released.
Last one. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise to...
Yeah, guys, check out that book. It's free on Kindle Unlimited.
Tom Laporta here from
All right, I pinned it right to the top there.
And Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. I want to tell you guys about Jupiter Joe Thomas. He's got these great offers for you. The free copy of his book, and of course the free phone consultation. And I like to brag about his resume a little bit. Joe, he's a little humble, but I want to brag about it because the value of what he's offering you free, the free phone consultation, no matter where you're located, and the free book is absolutely amazing, because Joe Thomas isn't just some regular financial guy. He has, for over 30 years, been in the retirement planning business, by the way. But he is a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. Wow, that's pretty exclusive. So you're getting a top guy offering you a free phone consultation and a free copy of his book. It's a pretty good deal. You should take advantage of it. Talk to him about annuities. And of course, with annuities, your money is protected from stock market losses. Stop losing money. Call Joe Thomas. And also tell you how you can generate income from your annuity when you're retired. His number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. jupiterjoe.com. Are you back with us, Steve? Steve, you're fine. I mean, I'm hearing you. I mean, I don't know why okay, all right, So I got a bit of more on this. This use of deadly force authorization at Mar-a-Lago is big. There's two big stories today that the media are running away from. One is today is the third day that Zelensky's presidential term has been over, yet he's still in power. So he's declared martial law. Zelensky is now governing Ukraine under martial law. He is an unelected president and has been for 72 hours. That's crazy. Okay, I don't know. We're supposed to be supporting democracy over there, but they're under martial law and have suspended elections. And a man is in power after his term has expired. Putin was just reelected. I don't know how their elections work in Russia, but they had one, not in Ukraine. And the other one is they're really this deadly force authorization at Mar-a-Lago. See, we weren't supposed to ever know about this. This part of the Mar-a-Lago warrant was redacted. You get it, you do the public access thing, you get it, and it's got the black marker lines across it. This is part that was blacked out with the markers, okay, authorizing the use of deadly force. And now we have this update that when they before they went in, they notified the local trauma unit at the hospital to expect casualties. So they went to Mar-a-Lago expecting a battle, which is really twisted because President Trump is guarded not by private security but by federal officers, United States Secret Service. So I guess they've told themselves that President Trump's Secret Service detail have, what did they used to say about the guys that were with the Indians? That they've turned to Injun, okay? They've gone Injun. And it's an old term. You can get away with using it because no one really remembers what it means. But that they've become part of the cult, I guess, and would get involved in a gunfight. So CNN, though, last night was trying to tell you, oh, this is just a normal thing. This is Aaron Burnett last night on CNN talking about the authorization of deadly force being granted by Biden and Garland in the Mar-a-Lago raid.
Out front tonight, the breaking: Trump claims deadly force authorized. Quotes.
That's right.
President and his allies absurdly accusing President Biden of trying to assassinate Trump. And moments ago, Trump's team sent out this newsletter, came into my email. They call it the Palm Beach Playbook, but it comes from DonaldJTrump.com. The very first line under top news falsely claims that deadly force was authorized against Trump during an FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago. The intent of that being a possible assassination. The newsletter coming just an hour after Trump gave this radio interview.
Newly released court filings show that the FBI was authorized to use deadly force if needed during the raid of your private home in August 2022. It's stunning. You're a former president of the United States. What was your reaction that it was authorized by Biden's DOJ?
Well, these are vicious people. These are fascists, communists.
Let me go through the wording here very carefully in just a moment. First, I want you to know how much this claim of an assassination has been, steamrolling in the MAGA world.
See, they're doing this, if this is, what she's trying to tell you is, this authorization of deadly force is normal. This is how all warrants are. No, nothing to see. If it was no big deal and so routine, why was it redacted on the public release of the app? Why were they covering this up for over a year? And this was not some ordinary warrant. This was a warrant on a president of the United States. So don't let them tell you that, nothing to see here. If there was nothing to see here, they wouldn't have redacted it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Houston.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys. How are you? Thank God, Brian, we have at least one honest judge out there, Judge Cannon, who's releasing this material for the general public to catch this.
That's right.
I mean, we've gone beyond insanity now. Now the living trauma units is going to be an all-out battle between the Secret Service and the...
And let me tell you, this thing about the trauma units, that just came out late yesterday. I have never... There's always stories of warrants being served, no-knock warrants, and all this stuff in the news. I've never heard of law enforcement notifying local traumas, not just a local ER, a trauma center. There's a trauma center, and I'm wondering which hospital it was. It could have been Del Rey, by the way. I don't know what the nearest trauma center is. I know they have one at the Del Rey Hospital. Not every ER is a trauma center. A trauma center is a specialized ER with not just special doctors and nurses, but specialized equipment. So I've never heard of law enforcement notifying a trauma center to expect casualties. I mean, it's like an episode of MASH.
Absolutely. I mean, do you remember when they did the raid on Roger Stone down in Los Olas?
Yeah.
When they
That was not. I know Roger Stone would like people to think he lives on Las Olas. He lived in Oakland Park, but Oakland Park, a little different than Las Olas.
Yeah, a little bit.
You would think he would live on Las Olas, but he does not. No. Maybe he used to. I don't know.
But can you? I wonder, did they call it a trauma unit alert when they?
No. They just called CNN to come and join them for the raid. I've never heard of this before. Tawana Brawley. No knock warrant. Did they call the trauma center on the Brawley? Never heard of this before. So this tells you This tells you the sickness that is the deep state and this government. They were preparing for a Ruby Ridge Waco, is what they were doing. when they went to Mar-a-Lago. And some of the things I learned that I didn't know is that they had, I learned this yesterday, that they had boats. The FBI brought boats out what did they think, that Trump and people were going to jump into the intercoastal waterway with files? What did they think that they needed the boats for?
Well, did they have the Black Hawk helicopters above Mar-a-Lago?
They had air support, but I do know I heard Pam Bondi specifically talk about the boats they had surrounding Mar-a-Lago, and Mar-a-Lago is already patrolled by boats on any day of the week. I've seen them go out. I've seen them stop people on the waterway. I'll tell you what they were doing was trying. I think they were trying to incite an incident. They wanted resistance.
Well, that's what it sounds like. They want to create an incident take place, and we would blow this thing to kingdom come. I don't know. Thank God for the courage of Judge Cannon to make this available.
Well, let me tell you, you're right. Judge Cannon, the documents judge, she's releasing all this unredacted information. And could you imagine if we had real judges in every courtroom that this crap's going on? But a thing about this though, one of Trump's attorneys was arrested and charged with Giuliani this week in Arizona, Christina Bobb. Okay, Christina Bobb. She's the Trump attorney you've seen the mugshot of. She's also a correspondent for Right Side Broadcasting. She's one of Trump's lawyers. Laura Trump just made her one of the lawyers for the RNC. She got arrested. Trump's lawyer, Christina Bobb, who got into a pretty rough confrontation with a reporter yesterday in Arizona, she was at Mar-a-Lago during the raid, and she's the one who refused to turn off the videotaping, the cameras. Remember, Christina Bobb stood up to the FBI. There was a definite possibility of an escalation when they're coming in, preparing trauma units and everything. But I think they were trying to incite a reaction. It was they were hoping something would happen.
That's what it sounds like. That's when they manipulate the circumstances and create an incident, and it'll immediately take over and blow it out.
That's right. That's right.
It's just astonishing. Now, would have to come from the Attorney General to
Merrick Garland's signature is and not a pen, not one of those robot pens, electronic pens. His actual signature. He read and touched and signed the warrant. Biden signed the document authorizing the break-in, but Merrick Garland signed the actual warrant. And Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General of Florida, she said she signed many of these warrants. She's seen many of them, and the deadly force is very prominent on these. It's not something that's in the fine print like the stereo directions that you don't see.
Yeah.
So he knew.
Yeah, this is just startling information. It really is. We have an out-of-control administration, and what they're doing to President Trump is an outrage. And
well, it shows how they view Trump and MAGA people and the Secret Service agents in his detail. They think that his Secret Service agents are cultists.
I mean, the sickness on the left is beyond anything we could imagine. Now the Secret Service are part of a cult who are going to.
Well, why else? I mean, why? What else do they think? If they came in with the gunboats and they got the trauma center on standby, there's something. Yes, it's bad. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, 32 minutes after the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
if needed.
Let me go through the wording here very carefully in just a moment. First, I want you to know how much this claim of an assassination has been, steamrolling in the MAGA world. Trump claiming on social media that they're, quote, how much this claim of
It's the one. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the newly renovated poker room at PBKC. It's open daily for cash games, high-end giveaways, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments. You can also play your favorite table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum, and that is 7 days a week. For more information or to see the tournament schedule or the bad beat jackpot, go to pbkennelclub.com. Is this guy with the pillows or flask? My pillow guy. Mike Lindell. Where is Mike? He is the greatest. First of all, he does make a great product, great pillows. I actually use them, believe it or not. He's been a supporter from day one. The My Pillow guy, thank you. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
As always, President Trump is right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person for a limited time.
Okay.
It's the night away at our high-energy poolside parties and settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise together at margaritavillatSea.com.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
And I just want to give a shout out to my coffee. This is very important. Anybody that has any kind of acid reflux, if you try the low acidic coffee of my coffee, it's absolutely the best. I wasn't able to drink coffee for years, and I tried it, and now I can drink a coffee with no problem whatsoever. It's absolutely delicious. The flavor is like a tastier flavor than regular coffee. I'm telling you, I don't get stomach aches, I don't get anything. I'm so happy with it, and I think that you ought to mention it. I think it's important, especially for all people.
Mike Lindell says that his coffee, the My Coffee, which is 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com, is the best tasting coffee you've ever had.
Absolutely true. I have tried over the years other coffees, and nothing comes near his, and that really is the truth.
50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs. Any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Your techs are highly skilled and professional, and the prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now in Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve, you with us? All right. I just got a text message from someone. Their garbage man had us on the radio in his garbage truck taking their garbage. Isn't that nice? I wrote him back. Don't be so surprised that people are listening to us on radios. But yeah, that's kind of nice. The garbage man listening to us. I looked during the break. 10,000 tickets have gone out for the Trump rally in the Bronx so far. 10,000 tickets so far for the rally tonight. So this may be, not only is this history, this may be a historic event that will never be duplicated by anyone ever again. So if you're in New York, I mean, if I was in New York, I know I'd be in the Bronx already staking out my spot. It's only, less than 10 hours away. All right, let's go. You're on the phone. What's your name? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Sandra. What's up?
Listen, that you always play a clip that blows me away. And that clip this morning of Biden saying that he's unelectable and they're going to lose, and who was he in front of when he was saying?
A group. It was a campaign speech. Let me play it again. This is not edited. It is not AI. This is Joe Biden yesterday at a campaign rally.
A campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
That is not edited or anything. He says he can't win and we can only elect Donald Trump. If Trump doesn't make that into a TV spot, a campaign commercial, that's the best endorsement he could get right there. His opponent.
I don't think I've ever heard a candidate in the history of this country say that.
Oh, yeah, he's got the nuclear football, too. Don't you feel safe?
Oh, my gosh. I couldn't believe it, Brian.
I know! I mean, that sounds like something you would edit, but it's not. That's real.
Brian always puts on something. I'm on my way to work, and you played the clip on my way to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I know it's crazy.
That would be really great.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. All right, well, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Yeah, that's a doozy, Steve. All right, I wanted to finish this up on the raid because this raid at Mar-a-Lago, I mean, it's insane, right? So Erin Burnett, she's trying to tell you, oh, nothing to see here. She goes on to try to explain away. Oh, sorry. Wait. Enough, Joe. Okay, hold on. Let me turn Joe off. Okay, all right, Joe. Okay, you just endorsed Trump. That's all we need from you. Okay, so here's back to Erin Burnett on CNN about the authorization of deadly force being given for the Trump raid.
Go through the wording here very carefully in just a moment. First, I want you to know how much this claim of an assassination has been, steamrolling in the MAGA world. Trump claiming on social media that there are, quote, reports that crooked Joe Biden's DOJ in their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago, all caps, authorized the FBI to use deadly, lethal force. And Trump's allies are running.
That's all true.
They authorized
Bannon.
Force. They had a medic. They had a plan to triage the wounded. They had a trauma center 18 miles away and a map.
See, 18 miles away. That sounds like Del Rey. See, we have a listener that works in that trauma center. Yeah, that's interesting. So he's right on the money here. That's Bannon.
This was an attempted assassination attempt on Donald John Trump, or people associated with him.
Biden unleashed armed agents.
Jesse Waters.
Agents into Trump's house, authorizing them to use deadly force.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, again, I'm going to get to this authorizing about deadly force in a moment.
Yeah, get to it.
More MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene on social media, quote, the Biden DOJ and FBI were planning to assassinate President Trump and gave the green light. Congressman Paul Gosar, Biden ordered the hit on Trump at Mar-a-Lago. A hit and and these are sitting Congress people, of course, that I just quoted there, accusing the sitting president and the FBI.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Now, they're basing this on newly unsealed documents related to the 2022 search of Mar-a-Lago. Now, among those documents was something called a law enforcement operations, which explains what agents are allowed to do and what they're allowed to bring with them. In this case, where they searched Mar-a-Lago. So what's in there is boilerplate language from the Justice Department manual about the use of force. It's boilerplate. It's everywhere. When the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. The language is standard, and it is directly from the department's manual. By the way, they also knew that Trump was 1,000 miles away when they went in, so they knew he wasn't even there. But the former FBI deputy operations chief Rob D'Amico, tells Outfront that the language included here is, quote, standard language for every single operation, bar none.
Okay. Now, a couple of things about this. One, then, if it's no big deal and it's just part of what every warrant is, why was it redacted? Number two, if they didn't expect to have to do this, why did they notify the local trauma center 18 miles away, which I'm assuming is the Delray Medical Center? I could be wrong about that, but 18 miles, that sounds like Delray to me. And Bannon has this information that they had some triage equipment with them on site. So this is not what they normally do when they are executing warrants. And to act like, oh, just a boilerplate thing. This is not your average search. This is the home of a president of the United States who is guarded by federal agents. Okay, so to act like, oh, this is just normal, everything they did was abnormal, and these notifications and things we're learning about. So, you know, the deep state over there at CNN are trying to get a narrative going that's just not the case here. And the very fact that it was redacted shows that it was not normal, that they looked at that. No one looked at it and before it happened and said, well, maybe we should not do this. They redacted it before they released to the public the warrant because this is not normal. And they took all kinds of steps afterwards. Also, we found out yesterday that they not only went into Melania's closet and wardrobe and took a lot of photographs, they went through a lot of her personal things, including Melania has a bunch of binders. They didn't say what they were. I'm assuming they're binders of photo shoots back in her international supermodel days, or maybe, is what I'm guessing they are. But they were going through Melania's closet, taking tons of photographs. In fact, it's been reported with this new information, they took more photographs of Melania's stuff than anybody else's. And they were going through these binders of Melania's. I mean, what were they looking for? What was that about? Melania was violated by these people. That was a violation. I bet you she got rid of all of her clothes and everything. I bet she threw everything away or donated it. That was a hardcore violation. And I hope one day we get to see the video and the audio of how these agents behaved when they were violating the First Lady's personal stuff. And then after they were done going through her binders, they went and tossed Barron's room, okay, with this use of deadly force authorization. So this was not normal. It was anything but. All right, we'll take our last break. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals are giving us a great buying opportunity that we've been really waiting for over a month now, with finally getting a little bit of a pullback where we would expect it to go back and test some support levels, and that's what we've seen in the last 2 days. Yesterday we saw gold close down $42.80, and after trading in a range of $2,373 all the way up to $2,426, and closing out the day at $2,378, down $42.80. Silver was down $1.26 at $30.67 the ounce. Platinum closed down $16 at $1,036, and palladium was down $31 at $9.82. The pullback continues this morning. We tested about that 2350 area, 2355. Right now we're at $2,362 on gold, down $16. Silver down 7 cents at $30.60 the ounce. Platinum down $1 at $1,035, and palladium down $8 at $974. Support for gold should be around 2350 number. Silver should find some support and is finding some support in the $30 range. Platinum right around that $1,000 number. So it's all good, giving us great.
This is great. No, and this new support level that we're reaching is almost $2,000 more an ounce than gold was when you first joined us with the Daily Report, William Youngerman. That's amazing, isn't that? So, I know it's crazy. Let me ask you though about a couple specific things. Is this how are the American Gold Buffalo and American Gold Eagle prices? Are those still recommended buys? Are they doing good?
It's a great buying opportunity
On those. Yeah, low premiums. And when it comes to silver, how are the Silver Eagles? You said were going up, but are there some things in silver that are great buys today?
Yes, absolutely. The 1 ounce rounds for smaller sizes are great values right now. Very reasonable prices. 1 ounce pure round silver coins with different designs on them, all beautiful pieces. And then we have the 10 ounce and the 100 ounce bars, which are selling at great, very low premiums right now. So good opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can call him toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, or go to his website, williamyoungerman.com. You can find both his number and address there. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, we'll be right back.
On the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is...
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You with us, Steve? Okay, all right. You're going to be watching the rally tonight? What are you going the Bronx rally?
Of course.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a good one. And there's been a lot of street interviews in the Bronx. And I'm going to play another one now. This is Newsmax in the Bronx on the streets, and they're talking to mostly minorities because I guess not too many white people live in the Bronx.
President Trump came here to the South Bronx. Would you attend the rally?
Of course. I would want to meet Trump. I want to shake his hand.
That's a black guy in the Bronx. I mean, he's looking forward to shaking Trump's hand if he has the opportunity.
Would you attend the rally?
Of course. I would want to meet Trump. I want to shake his hand.
He's the only president that I see that can ever make America great again. He's capable of doing that.
I would love to go to a rally with Donald Trump come. Because I'm a big Donald Trump supporter. And I will support him 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely we're going to show him love. We're going to show him a lot of love. And, like they do in other states, we definitely need to see Trump here.
There's nothing but love for Donald Trump here in the South Bronx, the North Bronx, the East Bronx, and the West Bronx.
So, you tell me...
We want Trump to come back. Please, bro. Biden, get out of here, bro. I will come to the rally and support Trump. Because the Bronx need a change, and we need help this.
We come to a Trump rally in the South Bronx. I like him.
You do?
Yes.
Yes, I will come to a rally if President Trump was to come to the Bronx. And I also would bring other people to come too and support him.
Would Joe Biden get a warm reception if he came to the Bronx?
No, he wouldn't have. And I'll make sure of that.
Okay, so everyone they interviewed on Newsmax except two are black. Of the other two, one white, one Hispanic. I mean, this is amazing. And it wasn't that long ago, you would have to look long and hard to find someone in New York City, period, that supported a Republican candidate for president of the United States. And a black person, that'd be almost impossible. Now they're just bumping into people, and boom, they support Trump, and they're black, and they're New Yorkers. It's insane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve and Brian. Good morning. It's JJ from Matt.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Steve. You doing good, buddy?
Hey. Good.
I was thinking about listening to Biden when he said what he said about only can elect Trump.
Yep.
That I don't know if he's Joe Biden or Blow Hyden. I think he misses his cocaine.
Let me play it again. Let me play it again. It's so good. I mean,
campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
I mean, and that is not edited. That is what he said at his campaign event yesterday.
He misses the coke or whatever. Somebody didn't give him the right dosage, but that's just so pathetic. And that's supposedly the leader of the free world. I mean, he didn't even think one flew over the cuckoo's nest, but Joe didn't make it. He landed in the nest. So I'm thinking about this rally today in the Bronx, and I think I am ecstatic about it. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think there's a lot of people that love him, and I just think it's going to be really. I think it's going to drive the left crazy, is what I think.
Well, now again, I could be proven wrong in just a few short hours, but I'm not expecting too much of protest inside the rally itself. I think there's too much Trump love going on there. I'm not saying there's not going to be disruptors in New York City, but I'm talking about during the rally, I don't expect too much other than the random go home to mommy guy.
Yeah. There could be a few of those, but I just think that they have. I mean, it's been a process where people have been waking up, and there have been the people in the shadows that were awake, and they were kind of scared to say anything. But it's reached a certain point now where there's comfort in the people on the left and the Democrats.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. It's a lot like gays coming out of the closet. There's this whole movement of conservatives coming out of the closet in these blue areas that were hiding their true selves for a long time.
Exactly. It's sort of like they're starting to feel as though they can speak without total.
That's right.
So to speak.
Yeah, without public ridicule, without having their lives destroyed. And the only person I heard from people from the Bronx call me on the air this morning, but I've seen all these interviews online and on television. The only person that I've from the Bronx that I've heard say anything negative about Trump's rally today is AOC.
Yeah, imagine that.
The people that her constituents are looking forward to it.
AOC couldn't have it. AOC would need more protection than Trump.
Well, she wouldn't have much of a turnout in the Bronx. I'll tell you that. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jim from New York. How you doing?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, so the first of all, the best part is the libs are probably angry because the bad weather we're having this morning is going to be cleared out in time for the rally. So their hopes and prayers for joining it is dashed. But you know what it is? First of all, yes, President Trump has converted a lot of people over to the conservative MAGA movement. We all know that. But here in New York, it's these crazy white libs who are the ones who are electing these the governor here and getting, Biden in the last election. So it's not, people in the Bronx are awake. Mm-hmm. Crazy white in the suburbs and on Long Island and West.
Yeah, but you know what, though? 10 or 15 years ago, if you went doing street interviews asking about a Republican candidate, you wouldn't find so much support like you're finding today. People feel, it's not just that people have become conservative, that's most of it, but a lot of it is what I told the last caller. A lot of closet conservatives in blue areas are comfortable coming out of the closet as Republicans now, and before they were afraid.
Well, and I'll say this, on the governorship level, think about it. The last governor was 2000. He was moderate. Mm-hmm. And since then, four of the last five governors were Democrats, and five of the last were Democrats, and four resigned in disgrace.
Yeah.
Shows you what's up here.
Yeah. And Hochul is a disgrace, who hasn't resigned.
He's a disaster. Yes, she hasn't resigned yet.
Yeah, but she's a disgrace. No, I mean this rally. I wish I was in New York. I'd go to it today. I would make it a point to go there. It is going to be overloaded with people because it's a historic event.
You know what it is? If I didn't have work today and it wasn't my kid's 21st birthday, I'd be there.
They have a birthday next year.
True, but I have to work. I can't make it.
Oh, come on! You can't. It's at 6:00.
Hey, I've been to 2 Trump rallies, and they're fun.
Excuses. They are fun. Now, what do you think? I'm not expecting big protest. I'm really not.
No, there won't be. There might be a manufactured protest, but there won't be.
Mm-mm.
I mean, look at people in the last 3 years. I don't care who you are or what ethnicity you are. You're feeling it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Seeing us give all sorts of money to foreign wars. I mean, people have their eyes open.
Yeah, they do. It's like, hey, listen, appreciate the call, and I guess even though you're in New York, you'll be watching it on TV too. You know what I wonder, Steve? I wonder This rally, if it was any Republican, is historic. For a Republican candidate who's the nominee to have a campaign rally event in New York City is history in the making. Has not happened in 100 years, right? They keep telling us Calvin Coolidge. He was president in 1920-something. I don't remember. But I wonder if they're going to carry this outside of the conservative media. The mainstream legacy corporate media are all based in New York, so they're there, right? It's a holiday weekend already kind of starting. History is happening. A Republican presidential nominee is having a rally in the Bronx. They have no excuse not to carry it, CNN and MSNBC. And if they do not carry it, that's 1,000% propaganda, covering up the news as opposed to reporting it. It is a minute before 9, so I'm winding down. But this rally tonight is one you do not want to miss. And if you can, watch it. I'm going to be watching it on Right Side Broadcasting online. But try to watch the rally live. You want to watch it live for a couple reasons. One, you want to experience history. Two, you don't want to get what the media filters to you from it. You want to be able to see it and experience it yourself. Now, tomorrow's Friday. That means open phones. Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. But we certainly will be covering whatever happens tonight, which is going to be fantastic about the rally. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's been here. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK 103.
All right, guys, I got to run. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Those of you that are already subscribed, like the video. All right? Take care, guys. I will see you all later.